80% of dealers hate Biden's EV strategy and refuse to sell EVs. In recent years, the electric vehicle (EV) market has experienced rapid growth. Although this trend has begun to shift as early adopters grapple with the practical challenges of electric car ownership, the initial excitement surrounding EVs has waned, but the Biden administration remains steadfast in its ambitious electrification plan. Despite this commitment, dealers are facing significant challenges as they find themselves compelled to sell electric vehicles that customers seem reluctant to purchase. A recent survey indicates that more than 80% of dealers express dissatisfaction with Biden's electric strategy, leading them to resist promoting and selling EVs. The reasons for this resistance are multifaceted, and the top 5 concerns among dealers shed light on their apprehensions. Number 5. Biden's plan is too aggressive. It appears you are discussing the Biden administration's plan to transition 2/3 of new cars to electric vehicles, EVs, by 2032. A plan that has garnered dissatisfaction among car dealers for various reasons. According to a recent survey by Auto News, a significant 83% of dealers believe that the administration's push for EVs is overly optimistic. Dealers argue that the government is pressuring the automotive industry to advance beyond current market demand. Dealers, who are considered attuned to customer preferences, assert that the majority of people are still uninterested in purchasing EVs. Customers commonly cite concerns such as cost, charging infrastructure, and range anxiety, along with various other issues associated with electric cars, as reasons for their reluctance to switch from internal combustion vehicles. The survey highlights that 41% of customers strongly oppose electric cars, emphasizing a preference for a diverse range of options, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and even hydrogen-powered vehicles. Customers express a desire for more advanced and lower-emission gas engines. Dealers argue that the rapid adoption of EVs within a short time frame is unrealistic, emphasizing that customers need time to embrace new technologies. They contend that current regulations are outpacing consumer readiness, advocating for a more balanced approach that aligns with customer preferences and adoption rates. Number 4. EVs take more effort to sell. During a period marked by a significant supply chain crisis induced by the COVID-19 pandemic and global conflicts, car dealers experienced unusually successful years. Despite not achieving record-high sales numbers, they did manage to achieve record-high profits. The supply chain disruptions upset the balance between demand and supply, enabling dealers to impose substantial markups, often reaching thousands of dollars, especially for highly sought-after models. However, this lucrative era has come to an end as car manufacturers have regained the capacity to produce an adequate number of cars, eliminating room for massive markups. The situation takes a more challenging turn when it comes to electric cars. Not only are dealer lots saturated with electric vehicles, but they are also facing sluggish sales, falling short of expectations. This grim reality translates to the absence of substantial markups on electric cars. Compounded by the fact that dealers must invest more time and effort in selling these vehicles, the dissatisfaction with the Biden administration's aggressive push for EVs becomes evident. Salesmen bear the brunt of this shift, as selling an electric car typically requires 4 visits and 4 hours, in stark contrast to the relatively swift process for traditional gas-powered cars that often take no more than a single visit and an hour. Former salesman turned EV dealer trainer, Buzz Smith, highlights that customers demand a comprehensive understanding of the new technology, leading to a substantial increase in the time and effort required to close an electric car sale. This prolonged sales process effectively translates into a significant reduction in income, amounting to what feels like a 75% pay cut for salesmen, making it an economically challenging situation for them. Number 3. Infrastructural issues. Car dealers, being intimately acquainted with customer preferences, are keenly aware of the primary concerns customers harbor when contemplating the purchase of an electric car. Unsurprisingly, they consistently highlight the inadequacy of the infrastructure for a large-scale shift to electrification. Despite government investments of billions in charging networks nationwide, dealers argue that it remains insufficient, particularly in rural areas where the scarcity of chargers is more pronounced. While urban areas fare better in terms of charger availability, reliance on home charging is complicated for city dwellers residing in apartments without garages. Consequently, public charging stations become the sole viable option, giving rise to scenes of long lines at these stations. Compounding the issue, even existing chargers are far from perfect, as indicated by the latest surveys capturing EV owners' dissatisfaction. Problems such as low charging speed, broken chargers, malfunctioning screens, and faulty payment systems are among the common issues reported. A study focused on the San Francisco Bay Area found that only 72.5% Electrify America chargers were operational last year, underscoring the suboptimal charging infrastructure. The inconvenience associated with charging is a significant concern for EV owners, with charging anxiety emerging as a key factor contributing to the current slowdown in market growth. Dealers are well aware that this charging infrastructure challenge is a pivotal reason behind the reluctance of customers to embrace electric cars. Convincing buyers to switch from gas-powered cars to EVs is an uphill task when the charging convenience is far from the desired level. This apprehension is further validated by the fact that a notable portion of EV owners, around 1/5, has already decided to revert to gas-powered vehicles, emphasizing the critical role that charging anxiety plays in hindering market growth. Number 2. Profit margins in repairs. Dealers express discontent with electric vehicles, EVs, for various reasons, and a significant concern is their current unreliability. According to the Consumer Report, EVs are reported to cause 80% more problems than their gas-powered counterparts, encompassing issues ranging from battery malfunctions to software glitches. The predicament lies in the fact that, being relatively new, EVs are still under warranty, and dealers bear the responsibility of covering these repairs. Compounding the challenge is not just the lack of training among technicians, but also the intricate nature of the technology, heavily reliant on software. In many instances, dealers find themselves waiting for feedback from car manufacturers to address specific problems, leading to extended repair durations. Dealers often contend with a backlog of EVs awaiting repair for weeks, underscoring the difficulties in handling these emerging issues. Some enthusiasts argue that EVs, being simpler, should inherently be more reliable. However, current realities defy this expectation, with doubts persisting about the near-term feasibility of such an outcome. The overuse of advanced technologies in EVs contributes to their current reliability challenges. Looking ahead, even if EVs do become more reliable, it poses a potential dilemma for dealers. Rather than profiting from routine maintenance services like oil replacements, they would find themselves grappling with more complex breakdowns and dealing with frequent and intricate software updates. These updates, often intended to address existing issues, can paradoxically introduce new problems. In such a scenario, both dealers and customers stand to be dissatisfied, with EVs languishing on dealer lots, awaiting solutions to persisting issues. This situation underscores the multifaceted challenges dealers face in adapting to the evolving landscape of electric vehicle technology. Number 1. Car makers require massive investments from dealers. The challenges for dealers in the electric vehicle, EV, market extend beyond the current slowdown in market growth and the struggles of car makers to make EVs profitable. Many dealers are faced with significant obstacles, and success is far from guaranteed. To sell EVs, dealers are compelled to make substantial investments, adding financial strain to their businesses. These investments include the installation of proper charging stations, training for sales staff, and education for technicians and other professionals. The costs associated with these endeavors can range from hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars, leading to a considerable financial burden for dealers. As a consequence, a growing number of dealers are opting out of selling EVs, unwilling to take on such risky investments in their businesses. Notably, major automakers like GM and Ford are experiencing a significant portion of their dealerships shying away from selling electric cars. For instance, around half of Buick dealers have chosen to participate in the buy program instead of investing between $300,000 and $400,000. This decision has resulted in a drastic reduction in the number of Buick dealers nationwide, dropping from 2,000 to approximately 1,000 within a year. In Ford's case, the certification program required for dealers planning to sell electric cars cost around $1 million. Initially, it seemed that 2/3 of Ford's dealers would pursue this certification, but the number has now dwindled to half, indicating that 1,500 dealers have decided to stick with internal combustion cars. While Ford currently does not mandate its dealers to sell EVs, the possibility of such a requirement in the future is not ruled out. This trend underscores the formidable challenges dealers face in adapting to the evolving landscape of electric vehicle sales. with significant financial considerations influencing their decisions. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.